Hi, this is ChineseWei, your Chinese coach. In this video, ChineseWei will show you how native speakers improve their Chinese reading skills. According to the Painlessly Chinese Learning Guide, we are now going to do the 10th training step of the Learn Chinese like a Native Speaker program, reading. If you don't have the guide yet, you can download it for free from our website. Through the previous 9 steps of training, you can now understand and speak Chinese fluently. I know some people aim to speak fluent Chinese without planning to achieve a high level of reading ability. However, if you do not practice reading, your listening and speaking skills will plateau and cannot improve further. For example, although you can understand this sentence, 去北京的火车马上要开了。When you're at the train station, the announcement will say, 各位旅客，开往北京的列车即将发车。In the announcement, they replace 去 with 开往，火车 with 列车，马上 with 即将，开车 with 发车。These are all written expressions that you need to learn through reading. If you don't engage in Chinese reading practice, not only will you be unable to conduct business or communicate academically and professionally in Chinese, but you also won't understand at the back, getting a cell phone card, booking tickets, checking into hotels, or even ordering a less sugary, more icy milk tea at a beverage shop. In various adult scenarios involving spoken communication, people use a lot of written language. You need to learn these expressions through reading. I know many Chinese learners are very afraid of reading Chinese, but for native speakers, improved reading ability is quite simple. Now, ChineseWei will show you how a Chinese person practices reading. Let's assume I'm a 6-year-old child. I see a sentence in a book. This sentence has 6 characters, and I can recognize the first 5. These 5 characters are very basic and simple. My parents have already taught them to me. The first 5 characters are read as 我有一本字。我 means I, 有 means have, 一 means one, and 本 is a quantifier usually used to describe a book. 字 means Chinese characters. So I can understand that the sentence conveys the idea that I have a book or something, and the name of this book is 字 what. But is it a book? What kind of book it is? I'm not sure, because I don't recognize the last character. So I look up the last character. I use the handwriting input method on my phone to enter this character and search for it. Then I see the pinyin of this character. Here it also gives an explanation and words combinations for this character, but I don't look at them. I just check the pinyin. Since I'm already in 1st grade in primary school, I've learned pinyin. So the pinyin, I know the pronunciation of this character is 点. Then I can read the sentence again. 我有一本字典。我有一本字典。Now I fully understand this sentence. I have a dictionary. I already know the words 字典. When someone mentions 字典, I can understand what it is. It's a book used to look up Chinese characters. I just don't know how to write the second character of the word 典. Now that I've checked this pinyin, and consider the context, and I understand the meaning of the word and the sentence. At the same time, I've learned a new character, DM. Native speakers improve their reading ability in this simple way. When they encounter an unfamiliar character, most of the time, they only need to look up its pronunciation. In this way, they learn new characters. The more characters they recognize, the more they can read, and the faster their reading speed becomes. As they read more content, they recognize more characters. With more characters known, they can read more complex content. This creates a virtuous cycle. The entire process can be done independently without relying on a teacher. As a Chinese learner, how can you improve your reading as easily as a native speaker? There are 6 key points to note. The first one, unlike reading other language, the key to reading Chinese lies in characters, not words. So the previous training step, you should already understand the relationship between Chinese words, characters, and pronunciations. Words don't need to be learned specifically. A word is made up of one, two, three, or four Chinese characters. Once you truly learn a character, you automatically learn many words. That's why Chinese children start learning reading with a 字典 in hand. A 字典 is a dictionary about Chinese character. Dictionaries about words are seldom used. Learning more characters through reading is our core goal in our reading training. The second one, native speakers find it easy to improve their reading because their Chinese listening skills are good enough. In the early example, when native speakers learn a new character, they only need to look up its pronunciation. Many Chinese learners find learning characters difficult because they need to learn and remember a character's writing, pronunciation, meaning, and usage at the same time. They need to memorize all 4 aspects of a character at the same time, whereas native speakers only have to memorize one aspect, the pronunciation. If you follow ChineseWei's program from the beginning and learn Chinese like a native speaker, you can already understand everyday Chinese and will find reading training as easy as native speakers do. The third one, you need to have some basic Chinese characters, at least recognize 200 common ones. Before starting school in China, parents teach their children some common characters in daily life, so that when they begin simple reading exercise in elementary school, they can recognize some characters and understand some content. If you've taken ChineseWei's course on 300 elemental characters, you should recognize at least 500 Chinese characters by now, including 300 basic elements that makes up other characters, and 200 common derived characters. This is enough to start reading practice like a native speaker. The fourth one, you must read a lot. A character you may need to encounter many times at different times in different contexts before you can really memorize it and truly understand its meaning and usage. Only by reading a lot can you frequently meet these characters many times in a period of time. To ensure enough reading volume, we adopt skimming rather than intensive reading. Although intensive reading helps you deeply understand a word, a character, a grammatical rule, but you'll soon forget all about it. Even if you do remember, it's not a true understanding, nor can you use them flexibly. Thus, native speakers improve their reading ability so extensive scheming. The fifth, more important than reading books, is everyday reading, such as reading a train ticket, a menu, a signpost, an advertisement board, a packaging box, a Chinese shopping web page, and so on. Whenever we encounter any Chinese content, it's an excellent opportunity for reading practice. You don't need to look up every sentence or character you see at once. But each time you encounter this Chinese content, take the time to read the sentence and look up a character. For native speakers, reading training starts with this type of reading, and they are more practical. The sixth one. Book reading follows the principle of progressing from easy to difficult. Besides HSK textbook, I recommend China's elementary school Chinese language textbooks. Their content is arranged from easy to difficult. This is more localized graded reading material than any Chinese textbooks. Chinese people grew up learning this material. So by reading these textbooks, not only can you improve your reading level, but you can also greatly enhance your Chinese communication skills because you are sharing the same books, stories, and items set with native speakers. At this point, ChineseWei would like to remind you, according to the treasure map in the Penny's Chinese Learning Guide, when you start the reading training, the fifth step of listening training, and the ninth step of building a Chinese expression system should still be continued. Later on, ChineseWei will provide various authentic reading material in Learn Chinese like a native program and offer some reading example to teach you how to read Chinese content step by step. Follow ChineseWei, learn Chinese the Chinese way, the Painlessly. See you next time.